I always use this analogy. I think people like to take people along who are already walking. I mean, like you're waiting to get somebody to give you a lift. That's very rare. But I think if you're already walking, somebody will just come and say that, hey, how can I help you? So I think my advice to many people is that do anything that you like the most and keep doing it. May not be always perfect. But when an opportunity comes, when you talk to people that you are in, you're going to give a lot more confidence to the person who is investing in you, who's actually putting aside their time to actually nurture you and make you a better professional. These things matter. I would rather invest a time on somebody who's already doing stuff and say that, okay, he knows the stuff. Let's say, hypothetically, right? Tomorrow we have an opening for a content developer team. I'll probably reach out to you because you have already a good experience and say that, hey, bro, this is something coming up? Would you be able to help and all, right?
So, hello guys. Today we have a very interesting person in this guest. As a guest, he is a working professional, but he is none other than less than an experienced person I've ever seen. Because, like, while seeing his LinkedIn profile, I was like, in the experience section, it shows see more, see more, see more. Like the third time I clicked the see more, like these much years of experience, who is none other than Ajit Yohanan. Sorry if I spelled it right. Your name?
That's correct. That's
Okay,
correct.
so welcome to my channel, sir. Welcome to the Digital Branded Show as the guest. I am, first of all, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you, Digital AK-47. It's a pleasure. And thanks for having me on the show.
So here come up with the first question, like being this much years in the experience of, like, you have worked with some different cool and interesting companies. Which is the best company have you felt that this is the one, like I felt the best working experience ever?
Okay, I think you're starting with the tough questions first. I would say I had a good experience wherever I have worked. I've worked with a lot of companies, and it's about the profile that I would say, right? I think all the different there's always a learning curve wherever whatever role you do, and some roles or some is gives you a lot more opportunity to learn and also work with the community. So I did work with IBM, and within IBM, couple of roles. So I wouldn't say that's the best, but I think something that really I really used a lot of my learning that happened is in marketing itself was when I was doing the ecosystem development for IBM, where I have worked with developers, startups, academia, right? That was very interesting. We used to meet a lot of students. I would say, I mean, it's all about the sheer pleasure of meeting people, sharing ideas, getting excited about the energy, insights, energy that they bring. So that was good. But yeah, having said that, different roles have given me different exposure to people and process.
Seriously, your profile speaks to me light and so brought me so much of questions. I have huge question list for you. Basically, the next question which I want to ask is basically like, how many years that you have worked in your life? Like I have counted, but I want to hear the number from you.
Sure. I think 2000 is when I joined agency. So yeah, roughly 20 years.
21, I think.
Experience. Yeah, it's 2 decades, I would call it.
No, seriously, like 2 decades, like my age and your experience. If I'm not
call
wrong.
me. Yeah, you could call me.
Yeah, seriously, no, like I am 24. Like when I was a kid, you started working. That's it.
Oh, like, okay, should I disclose my age?
No, sir, no, sir. It's a respect. It's a respect. It's a respect, sir.
No problem. Happy to.
No, I'm glad. You have such a cute family as well. You have like how many? I've seen your recent image of yours, like with your family. Your two kids are so cute.
Thank you.
And the next question which I want to ask is regarding the IBM. Like, how could you like come up to this IBM? Like, even though at that time IBM was just a company, and today we know where IBM is. So like,
Yeah. So
yes, sir.
there was a marketing opportunity that when I was working with Reliance. So IBM, I would say, offers in the marketing at the time when I was joining in 2008. It was a big team, and we used to do a lot of marketing activities. I would say many of the things that we still do is something that we learned there. The programs that we used to run for CIOs, developers, IT managers. Even now, when I do a lot of campaigns, I look back what we have done, and in terms of how we approached events, digital customer engagements. All of this were like great learning experience for me, at least personally. And every time I think there was a lot of new technologies was used within the marketing. The opportunity to work with some of the best marketing leaders, that was another thing that I would say hugely helped me shape my marketing career.
No, so that's actually, but your work and your hard work paid off, because like the name beside you, the Open Text, it's also a great company. Like just now I did a research on that company, so like no words for that. Like your hard work paid off you, sir. So, and the next question which I want to ask is, how many skills you exactly know? I want to know how many skills do you exactly know?
Yeah, I think in marketing, I would call myself a B2B marketing. And within that, also, information technology is where I have spent most of my time. And that itself is slightly a lot more focused approach. We don't do a lot of ATL or commercials or any of that, which you will see in a B2C consumer brand marketing. So here we are very targeted. Some of the tactics that we'll do, some of the campaigns that we'll do is a very sustained focus to a very small group. So I would say that is one of the key skills that I have developed over the years that I've worked with IBM, Autodesk, State Street, and now with OpenText. So that's definitely, I would say, one. The other is the content marketing. That's the new thing, right? I think people are looking for how they can get more insights into the areas that they are working. So that has also helped me. I'm also greatly, I look for great content and also try my best to create some content which some of our users and prospective clients will find it useful, so that they come and see what we have to offer them.
So these are some cool skills that I heard. And like the next question or an advice that I would ask for my audience, because basically I help people with social media branding. Like if someone is trying to build a brand on social media, I help with them in that particular cases, and with some brands, individuals, or even if you can be a creator. But most of the audience come to me like, bro, I need to start a job, I need some help, I need some advice on that. So basically this intention of this show is like that, because it's open to all, that any people can come and give their advice for their upcoming job seekers or from job opportunities that you're looking for. Like what kind of jobs that you see in the future, that these kind of jobs will dominate and robot will not be dominating in that kind of particular fields?
Yeah, I think technology is definitely going to play a certain role in most of the work we do, and then we need to see how we adapt to it. How do we take advantage of it rather than being threatened? Because that's not the best approach. But I'm saying there's always for everything that the technology will offer, you need people with skills to manage that. There's always it's just a multiplier effect, right? You let's think you planned a campaign, right? Only you can think of a campaign saying that, okay, I'll do a 10 episode campaign every week. There's going to be a webinar. We're going to targeted approach and all that thing. So that's the campaign that you will certainly plan and execute. But how you do it, what kind of a database, who are the people, the technology the MarTech, as we call it, will help you get to that better effectiveness. So I think that's the way to look at it. I think the new jobs within the marketing, if I can speak, is digital marketing. That offers a huge opportunity. Content marketing, B2B marketing, campaign managers. There's a whole, when I do a campaign, I will not reach more than a certain percentage of the intended audience, right? And then I will use technology to cover the rest of it. So, and then we'll definitely need those campaign managers who can design those campaigns and execute it. So at each stage, I think you will need people with skills who are very fast in learning, right? I think they also, how do we develop quickly content in terms of being smart about it, rather than the other thing that you will notice is the budgets are shrinking, right? And you want to do and all, you don't have like really. So you put together now, as I mean, look at your example, right? You're developing great content, right? At some point when you work for an organization, these skills will come very handy. You are like going to be say that, okay, I can do this quickly. I can do the mailers. I can do the different aspects of the campaign. Is something that you will be able to develop on your own, and that's going to be a great skill or a asset to the company that you will be working. Right? People need. The only thing robots can't do is communicate freely, human to human interaction. Like I make a lot of effort to go out and meet people, though it's difficult time with all the safety precautions, because that's where the exchange of ideas happen. You talk to people, you meet them, you share a meal with them, and that's where the human connect happens, and you get a lot of ideas. I think I make sure that whenever within the busy schedule, find time to catch up with somebody that you have not done in the last 2 years, and within the Bangalore that you can do. So I would say we don't have to worry about technology. I think this is going to help us, right? Every other technology is going to help your processes and all. And the gap between effectiveness of a successful campaign to how far it can go is huge, right? So you do what you're doing, and then let the technology do its job to elevate it. And it's not about the two people can do the same job. It's still your one person. Technology will accelerate it.
Oh, so that's a great point of view and a great advice for my audience as well. I think my audience will get boosted after listening this.
Thank you.
Like, and the most common question like you have ever heard, and like I even though answered a lot of question, which is like, from the pandemic and recovering to office work, which one is best, like work home desk or office desk?
I would say I would not call it out like in between. You have to choose between both. I think the model working would be hybrid, right? I think you come to office to do certain tasks which you can't do at home. But at home, because we are working with connected teams, I work with my APAC team, where my morning calls might start at 6:30, and then because the teams from ANZ and others are ahead of us, so I would be available. So I'm not going to rush to office for that call, right? I'm going to take it as in where I'm available. Even similarly, late evening calls. But I think the office time during the day is when you meet people face to face, which are available, exchange ideas over a tea, coffee, right? I think those breaks were very popular. So office per se is a physical sense. I think I would say meeting places is something that the idea would approach, right? I mean, this laptop, I can do it anywhere. It's not that I can just sit in a cafe and talk and all that thing. But is it helping me meet people, interact with people? I'll be traveling very soon, probably next week, to Mumbai just to meet the team, right? And it's an opportunity rather than considering it like, okay, why do you have to when you can do it? We don't have an answer for that, right? I think only people who have tasted it, they like meeting people, you're meeting your customers for the first time. That is different. That's how we build relationship, the approach happens and all. So I think the aspect of community is very well within the office
Working
environment.
experiences.
working experience, you make great friends, you get a lot of idea. At the same time, in terms of convenience, you're not going to arrive because it's anyway half the people on the call on a morning is online. So it's all about sharing, So it's about, so there's no like, those calls can happen only if you come to office. That's will be like stupid. That's not the idea. You find maybe the hybrid model which is evolving is that certain days in a week is what you will meet in office, do that whole thing, and then you go back to 2 or 3 days working from home.
No, so that's actually a great one because like a balance of like office and work environment is you are quite flexible
Yeah,
with it. Like
absolutely. I think organizations will evolve towards that.
yeah, soon because like even though my team is like 3 days home, 4 days they come to me like bro, let's do something. And then like okay, you're done. Like okay, let's go to your home and let's connect on a Zoom again.
Yeah, I think that's the way forward.
No, yeah, like yes, we should understand like everything can't be done because it takes the perfect time. Because like this pandemic, I wanted to build a proper office for myself, but pandemic ruined my dream. Like okay, better late than never. I took time.
Yeah.
Like okay, I will wait for it and I will build it finally.
Yeah, I think it should be need based, right? The people need to meet, and also office as a physical idea will come because from a need based. Let's say your team decides to meet for coffee or a lunch on a Friday and all. I think that serves the purpose immediately. Then we say that okay, that's not enough. We need some more time to discuss. It's a private meeting. Then you say, where do we go? So you look for co-working spaces, and that's where you hang out. And then you say that is not meeting the need because we need longer hours. We need at least 6 hours on a weekly basis, 2-3 days. And then you say, okay, maybe it's time that we have a dedicated space. So I think that's the way it should. One thing leads to other. Because I'm meeting my team for lunch this Friday, and it just happens to be after 3-4 months that I will be doing that. So that's meets the request, and rest of the time they are always on calls. I don't need to sit with them when they're doing this campaign, and I'm pretty only looking at how results are. So the meeting would be required to meet with clients, business partners. That we shouldn't lose an opportunity. So I think the need will define rather than the structure or a policy. It should be.
So that's a nice one. And the next question which I want to ask is like you have worked with some company State Street. Like I heard about this company like a very few years back, but you have worked in that company. It's like an investment company if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So like what role you are doing there?
So one of the things that I did in my career is look for opportunities which is varied. You can do a lot of stuff and probably do things that you've not done before. So State Street is a captive, as they call it. It's the India captive, will serve the needs of the other markets. There are teams sitting here on processes. There's a shared service, HR and finance, other shared services working out of Bangalore. So when they were expanding, they wanted marketing flip to the expansion. Like when people are joining, it's mostly to retain people, get the brand in the talent market. That's something that I've done a bit of when I was in IBM. So that looked like an opportunity. There's also PR involved in elevating, and it's a very they may not have too many customers in India, but it's the talent market. So talent branding becomes very imperative, holding on to the resources, finding them, making a better place, making an exciting place. So that was the profile for the role that I took up. I think, as I said, the core of it, I would say I'm a people person. Wherever you have an opportunity to work with a large group of people, excite them, make them being part of a community, and this was like pre-pandemic, right? I think that time we used to do a lot of engagement activities, a lot of community events, a lot of programs for the employees. And then another aspect of was the brand building. So how do we do diversity events? How do we do a lot of other things which the talent will appreciate as a great place to work? So I think that was the first time that I did something like that. You're right. That something was away from what I was doing as a B2B marketing, but I always found as a good opportunity, and let's do it. That's how
Yeah.
you go with it. You go with it.
No, basically trying new things will explore new ideas and also
Absolutely.
new insights as well. So basically, like
Absolutely.
while looking at that, I like State Street. Like I heard about this company because it was not fitting in your like your profile. Like no, this is the odd one
Yeah.
that I find on your profile. Like okay, no, I will ask this question as well when I will have a conversation with you. So that's crazy. Like, and recently now you are into open text basically, and that's a lovely office backside that you have. So basically,
Thank you.
it's also in Bangalore.
It's also in Bangalore. Yes.
I will
We are
definitely
in
come
Embassy
to. I will
Colony.
definitely come to Bangalore. I want to see all the companies.
Please. I think you should, because it's the I think the same thing as you were asking about working from home and all. I think that when the pandemic hit, it made sense for many people to go back to their hometowns and all. There's nothing wrong in that. You be with the family, you take care of them, and but I think over a period when things are opening up, and praise God for things are flattening and coming back to normal. So I think the cities that offer is a learning, right? I think the learning with each other, learning with working with leaders and all. I think that happens in cities, and that trend is across the world. Many people have left Valley and moved to different remote cities. They were able to be more productive. But I think, yes, that was true. But I think it was more temporary. But I think the joy of working with a great leader, to get inspired on a day-to-day basis with their work culture, ethics, and all, that can have a huge impact. I think if it was all built online, then we would not have had such a great IT industry, right? If everybody worked from home, that wouldn't have been the case.
No, actually, I even though this show wanted to be an like live interactive event, I wanted to go to the particular people's place and I want to do an interview live sitting in front of them. But you know the situations, the safety measures.
Yeah.
But like once after things get normal, I will start the routine, and I think the next guest will be also
Yes,
from
right.
Bangalore, and I will definitely come to visit your place.
Absolutely. Do come. If we have a good office here, you can use the office for doing things that you want.
And like the one question which I usually most of the working professionals comes to my DMs and like ask like I want to get a job, I need to explore something, I need to show off something. Like I said, why you want to show off everything on your resume and going to HR's desk rather than show off what you can do to any one of the platform? Like social media is the best thing to show off your skills, your knowledge, and your experience. How social media played a role for your life?
So I think it's a great question. That's something which I like to talk about,
and that's also my niche, because being a social
yes,
media branding
absolutely.
creator,
I think I always use this analogy. I think people like to take people along who are already walking. I mean, like waiting to get somebody to give you a lift, that's very rare. But I think you are already walking, somebody will just come and say that, hey, how can I help you? So I think my advice to many people is that do anything that you like the most and keep doing it. May not be always perfect and all, but when an opportunity comes, when you talk to people that you have been, you're going to give a lot more confidence to the person who is investing in you and who's actually putting aside their time to actually nurture you and make you a better professional. These things matter. I would rather invest a time on somebody who's already doing stuff and say that, okay, he knows the stuff. Let's say, hypothetically, right? Tomorrow we have an opening for a content developer team. I'll probably reach out to you because you have already a good experience and say that, hey, bro, this is something coming up. Would you be able to help and all, right? And how will you do otherwise, right? There are, I was talking to somebody, they was talking about an opportunity that they have, and they wanted me to suggest it to anybody. I said, yeah, I would only suggest people who are already doing some things, right? Rather than just waiting for that right thing to come and all. That's not good. I think that's not the best. I mean, even if it is internship, offer people to do things, right? Anything that you do, but don't just sit, right? I don't know if you heard this example of a young developer, the UX designer, 3D designer. He actually put his work on LinkedIn for cred with their logo and all that thing, and it hugely became viral. It got the attention of the CEO and the design team, and he was offered a internship. I think those are the smart examples which will happen in the coming days. People are not going to hire you looking at those text in the PDF.
No,
That's just a address proof and just to tell who you are and all that. But people would want to see your portfolio of work, your ability to connect with people, and you figure out, right, how best you can, or let's say that I can do a sales job, right? How will you do it? Probably you have to just do a sales video that, okay, this is my mock interview with a client. What do you think? So somebody looking for somebody, oh, okay, this guy is already doing something. He's made an effort and all that. Let's meet the guy and let's take it from there. And of course, it has to have a lot of fitment skills and all. But getting that initial opening is always dependent on how better you're positioning yourself. So social media allows that to you. It's not about number of views or things.
Followers or audience that you have.
Followers and audience, and all. You can do it consistently. I was talking to somebody from Bombay. They did a couple of podcasts and then they stopped. I said, please don't stop. I have another very good friend who did a series of podcasts. Then he said, no, not able to because there's a lot. I said, that's the problem, right? I think if you did only one or two, then and all. So that's not going to help. You have a calendar and take examples, right? This NAS Daily, right? Every other day for 365 days, he made a video. And if anybody thought that was easy, it is not, right? Because he has to. Not. Yeah, because you don't have any other client deadline to deliver on that day. So you will say, yeah, I think I'm done. Then you're not doing it justice. You have to consistently deliver, like reach out to people, find their time. So you have done it. It's not about whether people have seen it and all that thing. So your opportunity will come when you talk to somebody and say that, okay, what are you looking at? I'm looking at a content developer who can actually build it. Okay, I've done this for last 6 months. Oh, wow. It's already in. That's when you realize that how effective was. But otherwise, you will just remain as not doing much, wondering about all the other things that, oh, why people, I don't have money, I don't have the soul, I don't have access. It will only happen if you go. So I'm planning to meet a series of people in the next term. I've been talking to them and I'll make that a lot more serious, is to invest time within the free time, and I'll make that effort, sit with them and talk to them and saying, okay, what do you think is possible? And then the ideas will emerge. See, I always think the startup, there's always a thing. It's the idea is not something, it's the execution, right? Any of the success stories and all, I think you would have think, oh, how come I didn't think of it and all. I can guarantee those people who will say that can always got the idea, but they will never execute. The people who could execute well are the ones who are, and that requires you have to be a hustler, you have to be ideate, you have to be creative, and put each of that to use, right? How do you make your first pitch for investment, right? That somebody has to see the passion in you, somebody will see the vision in you, and then they will come and join the discussion and say that, okay, let's take a bet. Take the Zomato story, right? How they got their first break with the money that they got, and then they evoked confidence, and that confidence led to finally the business getting bigger, and now they're released their IPO.
Yeah. So no, actually, I usually tell to people that don't just list your skill in a piece of paper, rather than show it to even at least 10 people, so that it can be reached to thousands of people one day for sure, if you're consistent enough. And yes, even though I had a huge startups, my 2 startups flopped, then later decided that something is your cup of tea that you are missing out, but you are trying different cups that will never suit you. Later I decided that I'm good at video works and I'm good at doing my social media branding thing. Later, I started my own designing page. Now I now have like 1,500 people there. I'm getting some leads from there. Doing that,
Wow.
that's it. I'm doing great. What else do you
Yeah.
need?
Great. That's great. Yeah.
No,
I
the
think
thing,
the business or the opportunities will come only through people, like the example that it's not going to come through robots or so the anything that you do, especially in marketing and all, of course not like technical jobs like you develop a particular language coding. Other than that, the community that we are in, it's people to people business, right? Sales, marketing, HR, it's about people connect and how better you're able to connect, find opportunities. And before the pandemic, a lot of the hustler events used to happen, right? Your story used to do these mixer events. A lot of people just huddle, right? Meet with people, share your ideas, and then take it off from there.
no, even though it happened with me, like when I was started my startup, like a digital marketing company, I did so much cold messages. Like I get the
Mm,
common answer, which is like, I am getting this message for the 10th time from different company. Like, okay, I'll stop
yeah.
this. I don't need to do digital marketing because there are people doing digital marketing. If they want to do, they will come to me. But the thing is, me and my team's USP was the designing part and the branding designing part. Like, okay, we will do this. We will start a page for that. Then we invited like 10, 15 people to like our page. They said that like your designs are great. Wait a minute,
Mm,
I have an opportunity for you. I know a person who wants to revamp his design. If you do it, then that's your lead, or if you ignore it, then that's not your chance, that your opportunity that you're missing. Like, okay, we took the call. Then later we been serious, like, oh yes, we will doing branding designing, and as a second part, doing my content creation on YouTube. That's it.
absolutely. Yeah.
So the thing is, you want to find your niche and what you're good at. That's it. It will take time, but
Absolutely.
once you figured out, that's that's the end game that you want to reach.
Yeah. I mean, I just reminded of IBM campaign which was done very long back. Stop talking, start doing. I think that's that's something that's kind of I think we have a lot of ideas, a lot of things. I mean, more people start doing it, that just becomes a way forward. And the way it will give you results or as an impact is in different ways, right? Somebody will be on high in terms of followers, content, direct monetization. For some people, it will work through different opportunities to work with different projects. So not everything has to be seen with that. Oh, okay, somebody is doing it. I mean, keep doing it, right? And start making a conscious effort to make it better and better, right? You're now doing things. You're working with the best of the writers. How can you even talk to the even bigger guys? Better thing. So and understand that the customers what they want, how they're looking at. There's always a better way to do the things even better, right? I think how would you do that? That's where your skill comes in. It's not about just one episode I did it and okay I didn't get people. That's not going to get. So I spoke to 10 people, they're not interested. Maybe you have to look at all those 10 people are the maybe not the right people.
Not
Right?
not the right audience that you're looking
Not
for.
the right audience, right? You work on your database, you work on the pitch and all that. So that's where I think
Yes, because like
works.
doing a podcast is, people thinks that is a easy job. I will call 10 people, they will come and I will gain their followers towards myself. That's not the case every time. The thing is like,
Absolutely.
even though I did an audio podcast, but people wanted me like, bro, हमें वीडियो चाहिए, हमें आपका चेहरा देखना है, ऑडियंस का चेहरा देखना है. Like, okay, wait a minute. Then I will pause. Then I discontinued my audio section. Then I brought up my video session. Like, people are genuinely asking. I reach out to many famous people, professionals, working CEOs. People say like, I don't have my calendar is too busy. Like, okay, sir, when you are free, just drop me a message. I am just one message away and a one Zoom link away from you, sir. Like, okay,
Yeah.
no, your message are genuine. You are not that kind of person like you want to seek the attention of my audience. Like, I don't want any audience. Even though at the end of the day, I influence two people, that's the biggest success I've ever did in my life. That's
Absolutely,
it.
yeah. I think that's where the key is, right? If you can get more people to influence, inspire people, that's a great thing that you can do.
But most of them thinks that like doing this by calling a famous person, like he has a 10,000 followers on Instagram. Followers is not the game. The thing is what the person can fill to your life and to your audience. That's matter the most.
Correct. I think it's not about people, but what do you want the message? So I've been also thinking of a topic. What will be the best topic for the audience that comes? The conversation has to be rich. It's just not for the sake of it, So you have to. So I think the easiest thing is to do the podcast and the video. I think that's not a thing, but I think the pre-work that you have done, right? Met with people, who's the audience, how you're going to solve a problem. Let's say,
what
how
the
is it
questions will
related
be
to?
it should be relative
How,
to you as well, because basically
correct.
my
The
agenda is
pre-work,
not a fixed one.
correct. The pre-work that you need, that requires a lot of effort, and that you should focus on.
Because most of them I think like even though I went as a guest for 2 podcasts, they were like asking the same question with their every guest. Like that's not the right person to ask same question again and again. You will get, obviously you will get the common answers. Like if I ask
Yeah,
you,
that's
if I ask you how Facebook ads work for you, you don't know what Facebook ads for you. If I ask a digital marketing question, that makes sense, doesn't make sense for you. So that's why my
absolutely.
agenda and questions are entirely different. I personally sit and do a research, because I don't ask the team like you do it for me. No, he doesn't even knows that who's the person is. First you have to
Correct.
send a follow request or need to access your content, then he will later realize. But take some time. Like in your niche, in your profile, I did a research around like 3 hours. Then I like sorted around 6 to 8 questions. Like yes, these are the questions which I want
Thank
Ajit
you.
sir.
Even I have not done myself, so thank you for that. So appreciate. No, I think the message, I know what you're saying. I mean, like it's all about the pre-work, the research, and all. That's why you will work on a good, and the same thing applies to. I mean, if we can go back to your earlier question of how do we do skills and all. I think more than the skills, it's about the patience, right? You're doing a thing and all. Can you sit down, block yourself from other distractions 3 hours, and think through the campaign, right? This is how the first email will go. This is how the webinar will happen. This is how the post event. And that's like real skill, not to get spend more time. And then you will see the impact, because then you are like, you have thought through it, right? Talk to people, bounce these ideas to them. They will say, okay, you can do it in another way. So you incorporated that. I think that's where we lack. We are slightly getting into a hurry to do things and all. And that shows at the end of the day.
No, yes, actually you are right at that point. And the next question which I want to ask is like, being 2 decades of working, what's your next plan to settle down? Like this is the thing, after that I'm down, I'm settled. Because I can still see that you are still brave enough to still pull off. Like when I get old, you will be still like, yeah, I'm still doing it.
No, I think there's I would say we'll continue to do what we do, and that is helping people, helping organizations achieve their goals and all. And as long as there are opportunities, that's what will continue. At the same time, follow certain passions like content, right? And in the space of networking, there's, you don't know. I'm like, as I said, right? I think you will have a lot of ideas, but you need to find time to make it into a thing. Let's think of a great community, for example, right? In Bangalore, you don't have for an EV community or somebody who works on electric vehicle as a community of engineers and all. So that's an idea, but I think, can I spend more time to do that? That's what I like about developing a community. Then you have to really put in a lot of effort. What is the purpose of it? How is the industry going to develop, right? Are they adding any value? So I think it's about finally being helpful to people, organizations, and probably that community will bring in other opportunities for a lot of engineers to find jobs, or find another big Ola, next Ola Electric or something of that sort, right? So I think, I'm using that as an example. So I would continue to explore areas where you can help people, bring a lot more. there's a lot of opportunity, or rather lack of opportunity that we need to, and everybody need not be entrepreneurs to create that opportunity. There are people who will encourage, there will be people who will be ecosystem developers, right? You will develop an ecosystem. I know people who are actually taking their precious time out to effect the policy changes within the industry, working with the government, academia, developers, having that dialogue. That's a contribution. They may not, their call is not to create and all, but I'm saying helping the ecosystem. So I would see myself adding a lot of value in that space, a kind of going forward as when I would love to be stay engaged with the community, helping people. I think the one of the biggest skills, right, English language skills that can actually give people the opportunity to go to the tier 2, tier 3 cities and all. I also had the opportunity to sometime to work with the Nudge Foundation, and they're doing some great work. And that's where I see as a huge opportunity coming up. Like, how do you help people get into the mainstream? That's something that you can always look at doing as well. So yeah, I think there won't be any dearth of opportunities that you don't want, but how do you want to do it, why you want to do it, how you're going to help a lot of people by doing something like that. So that I see definitely myself adding some value at some point.
No, like you are a cheetah of working.
Thank
You
you.
are never going to stop.
Thank you.
So, and the one more question which I want to ask, but it's more like an basically an advice for my audience, like that one advice that you want to give to every working professionals, like you should do this, you should practice this to improve your working culture.
Sure. I started working out, and probably health has become a big concern, right? How you keep yourself fit and all that, leave your sedentary lifestyle. So I do work out at a gym and all. I mean, I was thinking today that every move that you do, and there are people, coaches to help you to perfect it, right? But the effort that you put in is something that only you know, right? When you're saying that you have to engage your core or hold more weights and all, that is not something that you can actually. I mean, you can cheat very well, but you know you're the one who will not get benefit out of it, right? You can just say, "Oh, I'm tired" and all. I think, of course, you're tired, but there's somebody who's going to, and they're not going to come after you all the time. They're going to tell you, and that's how I would say that the advice would be, anything that you do, don't think that you're doing it for somebody else, right? Even if you read the document 2 times and make your pitch better, you're getting a better person, right? The moment you think that it's somebody else's and all, I mean, what is a coach has to do with you lifting 5 kg extra? He's not adding his thing or something, or you're going to get benefit, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get fitter. That's the same analogy, right? Nobody is going to come and say that, hey, your campaign was not so effective. If you're lucky, you will get that feedback. Otherwise, people will say, yeah, people are the mundane way of doing things will continue, right? I think that's the advice that you do. I think always do things, not thinking that. Of course, you have to balance your other priorities, or you're taking care of other things around your family, commitments, other community commitments and all. But the moment you start doing things as your advantage, you're doing a particular coding, you're doing a content, you're doing a campaign, anything of that for your advantage, then it becomes like the results will be much higher. But if you're doing it for somebody else, it's still going to be. Having an entrepreneur's mind, like, you're doing you want to make your show better because you're accountable to yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best way to actually motivate yourself. If everybody did that to themselves, then it's a huge impact that we will see. Everybody is an entrepreneur. I would consider myself, when I come, I have these 5 things. I can easily be saying that, okay, we are fine with these 5 things, and I don't want to do it. But an entrepreneur mindset will do another 3 things just to add to a better thing, right? And that's why you grow as a professional. Your results are better. So I think that's what I would advise and all. Work for yourself, like just the way you do workout for yourself. That's I
No,
would
that's
say.
a great add-on for my audience. I hope my audience will like it. And so it's time to wrap. But before wrapping the interview, I usually ask this question to all of my guests, like, how was the experience of
Yeah.
Digital Brand Data Show?
No, I think thanks for thanks for having me first, and it's a great conversation where we can chat things that about and all. It's not a very heavy, I would say. I think it's just we should call it Dil Ki Baat or something and all. Sorry
Yeah.
if you think. I think good to have your guests talking what they feel, how they can help people. That's what I like about it. It's not a heavy format, no slides, thankfully, and it's just a conversation.
No, that's the
So
prime motive. Like,
congratulations.
that's the prime motive of my show. Like, I want to inspire my
Yeah,
audience, and even though my knowledge can inspire your audience, like if you share this to your
yeah,
friends, like that's the thing,
and
because my motive is
yeah,
to help people.
correct. Correct, and the questions are not pre-decided, so you're just there. It's not faking it out. So I think that's the thing about it. Just as open as it can be. So thanks for that opportunity. I really appreciate it. I really look forward to the great work that you're doing. As I said, it's about helping people that I see that you're doing. I hope more people feel free to reach out if somebody needs a bit of a advice or connect and all. I'll try my best to help them as you're doing as well.
Oh, sure, because I have added your link to my description as well while this interview will be live. And that's
Okay.
Ajit sir for you guys. And I hope you like this interview.
Thank
If you
you.
like this interview, the next guest will be more interesting as well with the upcoming days. See you in the next episode with another interesting guest. Peace out.